It's still the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, the Decade of Action for Road Safety, and the Decade of Action for Indigenous Languages. It's the second day of the eighth month of 2024. Put another way, it's the second day of the third month of the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season. The Linden uprising is being remembered in Bosnia-Herzegovina. It's St. Elias's Day in Macedonia and Serbia, Emancipation Day in St. Kitts and Nevis. Well, we observed Emancipation Day in Jamaica on the 1st of August. And in a few days, all things being well, celebration of Independence Day. And the Virgin of the Angels Day in Costa Rica is also being observed. It is Friday, the 2nd of August, 2024, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right here, right now on Power 106 FM. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome. Good afternoon to Audrey Smith in Southampton in England. She says, afternoon, Dervan, and listeners everywhere listening and watching from a very, very muggy Southampton. We trust the weather will get better for you, Audrey Smith, and all the others in Southampton in the UK. Good afternoon to you. Thanks for tuning in and popping up online here on both sides of the story. Norman Hines from St. Thomas says, blessed afternoon, Sir Dervan, Malcolm, and listeners. Many happy returns to you, Norman Hines. Thank you for checking in and all the very best to you. Remember, this program offers more opportunities to express yourselves. Please feel free to take advantage of those opportunities of expression. We welcome your views, your thoughts, your ideas, your suggestions, and generally speaking, your questions. How, when, where, what, why, etc. And so we look forward to your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. 876 922 4112 to 5. And the text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. And so we look forward to your full participation. After all, it is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, and we continue to stream live. Let's clear some of these messages now so that we can get through a bit quicker in moving from one to the other. And some of them go back as far as, well, yesterday, that's not so bad, or as far as the 31st. So we have to be judicious in going through the messages right now then, so we don't undermine anybody's plans to post their messages and not getting the opportunity to have their messages aired. So we're taking note of that. For example, Cuban in Georgia, who always has a lot to share, nothing wrong with that. And so different threads of these messages now, but it's the same person, Cuban in Georgia. He says, Sir Malcolm, Mr. Rooster, we will bring back to the people of downtown Kingston, Jamaica, anticipate the arrival of Mr. Rooster and his return to the people of downtown Kingston. I can't say I know what that is about, but I guess we can find that out and share the information. And Richie Nibar is checking in as well. Good afternoon, Richie Nibar. And Mike Montgomery, good afternoon to you as well. And we always have to hail this listener, Sidonie Morrison Donald DePass. Sidonie Morrison Donald DePass. Good afternoon to you and all the very best. Thank you for staying connected to us here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. And let's see who else is on board. Empress Angela says, good morning. I am so happy to be listening. This was Emancipation Day to Emancipation Day program from London. Can I have the name of Jamaican history book David, the last speaker, mentioned? Okay, so that sounds like potentially, possibly a different station, but the material the same or something along those lines. Feel free to resend the message if you're so inclined, and we'll be more than happy to have your message read. This one says, happy, so this was on Emancipation Day as well. Happy Emancipation Day. My name is, and we've gotten the name. And this person wants to speak with me off air. All right, all things being well, let's see if we can make time for that engagement. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15. This is myself. How may I help?
You know them person leave that run. But I want them to say,
Don't worry, sir. Crime stop is privately funded and run by the police rotate. Everything recorded here is anonymous. It's just like you're invisible.
what about the reward?
We provide cash rewards for information that leads to an arrest or recovery. We'll stash the cash wherever you like, so nobody will ever find out.
All right, let me tell you. Make the call. Crime Stop 311. Solving crime pays.
So we'll do our best to find the time. I think you have uh, another name here, Monica, Monikeer, which is another word for an alias. So we'll make contact as soon as we're able to. We're on air now, but we'll definitely make contact as soon as we're able to. Thank you very much for your message and all the very best, Dr. Sam. This one from Kevin Galloway saying greetings to everyone. And let's see, this one, Calvin from North York, Ontario, Canada, is also on board. Sharon Smith is busy promoting on behalf of her alumni association, the Hosemati Alumni Association, New York, Inc., inviting all to an evening of elegance, part 2. This is scheduled for Saturday, August 10. The alumni banquet, pre-sold tickets, 150 US. For tickets, the Hosemati Alumni Association New York chapter, you can go to jmanny.org or Zelle, treasurer@jmanny.org. And the gate price is a sofa sponsored by People's Choice Furniture Store, one of our longtime sponsors on Power 106, actually, who owns a furniture store in, what's that, Bronx? In the Bronx, I believe it is, in the Bronx in New York. And so the event will take place at Anton's Banquet Hall, 9643 Springfield Boulevard in Queens, New York. And we wish them all the best as they take on board yet another fundraiser to help the students and staff of the Hosemati alumni, the Hosemati Technical High School. So we wish them well. And she's also sharing one or two of the other happenings. Thank you very much, Sharon. And we'll go through some of the rest a little later. But we thank you for the engagement in terms of sharing as well what's happening in your neck of the woods so that we can play our part. And here's another that message that we have to respond to. And we'll have a lot of work to do this afternoon, no doubt about that. We'll have to do what we have to do. And let's see, we're coming up to a message now. This one is from Bunty. That's the name that he uses. And let's see what's happening here. Mr. Malcolm, I'm asking you, please read 2 Timothy 3, verse 1 through 7. Read loud on the ear. Take very much. Have a God bless day. Jagide. Okay, Bunty, thank you for your message. Still need to work out a couple of lines in it. And Clarky Bless in Hunstone, St. Mary, says, Happy Friday to you and your listeners. Mr. Malcolm, I just want to say a big thank you to Mr. Mike Clark and his team for putting on that awards ceremony at the Geddes Town Square yesterday, where a number of community people from Geddes Town, Hunstown, Oxford, and Trial were awarded, including myself. Well, congratulations to you. So he goes on to say, Thank you, team, for a great job. Well done. Mr. Campbell, Mr. Lawton, Mr. Clark. Big up. Happy Friday, everyone, from Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary. Thank you for your message, Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary, and all the very best. As we have someone who has published a brand new book, just posted it, Pathology of a Pandemic, a collection of poems. And this is by Canute Lawrence, who is a former teacher at Wolmer's, Calabar, and I can't remember the other schools. But looks like he's publishing another book, and we'll be more than happy to have a sit down with him to discuss his book. Also coming up, the International Impact Book Awards. Well, we'll come back to that. And so he has received the 2024 International Impact Book Awards. Canute Lawrence, Pathology of a Pandemic, a collection of poems, poetry. Okay, we're happy to have so many of the creatives engaged in conversations and discussions. Thank you. And we're not able to play one of the messages right now because we haven't had the opportunity to listen to the audio beforehand. Even though we know the person, we have to do it this way. So we have to audition before arriving at a decision going forward in playing audio on the program. But we will continue to monitor. Also celebrating the 62nd anniversary of Jamaica's independence, Los Angeles-based Jamaican organizations inviting all to celebrate the 62nd anniversary of Jamaica's independence. And there's a special church service, worship service, and cultural reception scheduled for Sunday, the 4th of August at 2:30 p.m. at the Holy Faith Episcopal Church, 260 North Locust Street, Inglewood, California. And there's a contact here. For more information, please contact 310-415-0542. Thank you very much. A lot of ground to cover. And this looks like an announcement that should be made. It has been approved. Let's see the details. This is Sunday, July 21st. This might be, well, I'm not sure if this is an error. Can see if we can get our producer to check on that. Senior producer Jesse Blake. assuming that he is in office at the moment. We'll have to check this because the date is the 21st of July, uh, 2024. All right, well, we'll have to come back to that. Definitely have to come back to that. And the Oberlin Past Students Association hosting their fundraiser coming up, the Thelma James 5K Run Walk. And that is scheduled for Sunday, the 29th of September at the University of the West Indies, Mona campus, starting at 6:30 in the morning. Proceeds in aid of the Oberlin Breakfast Program. And we trust you are successful in your endeavors. All the best. And thank you for messaging us here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Let's see what Franklin McDonald is researching this afternoon. Let's see. Don't, don't. Some years ago, the Rafi Ahmad did a paper on the subject of earthquakes and hurricanes, the relationship, earthquake and hurricane relationship, using examples from the area around Jamaica and from Jamaica history. I will try to find and send you a copy of that paper. It may be that you're in your room or you may already have it in your collection. It is worth looking at because I think Rafi thought the relationship was a little stronger than US paper September 2023 implied. The short statement is that we do not know whether there is a relationship. It seems that the period from about 1890 to now, a mere 130 or 40 years, is not enough to have come through or come to conclusions about such a complicated matter. You and I are you and I are something. May you and I uh, may know you and I may know Rafi Ahmad. I believe we do. I believe we do. Does he still work for the Gleaner? Is it? I'm not sure. But anyway, the message goes on to say that uh, we know Rafi Ahmad passed. Oh, no. Ahmad passed about a month ago, so he is not available to discuss this one. Oh dear. So sorry. Terribly sorry to hear this. Sincerest condolences. So sorry. Right. Blessings on their family. Back in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM, the time is now
2:30. Patients First Pharmacy is your new and modern choice. Located at Shop 7 Global Plaza in Grand Spend, close to the intersection of Grand Spend Road and Constant Spring Road. WhatsApp your prescriptions to 876-302-5181. Can't find it? We'll source it for the next day pickup. We open Mondays to Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Call us now at 876-678-5181 for more info. Patients First Pharmacy, your new and modern choice.
Good afternoon to Valerie Wellerpick. Thank you very much for joining us as usual. She says, good afternoon, everyone. Mike Montgomery tells us, good afternoon, teacher, to you and your listeners. It's raining here from last night. Keep educating the nation. Keep safe, teacher, says Mike Montgomery. Jessica says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Wishing you a prosperous weekend, and to your viewers, many happy returns. Jessica, thank you for your message, and keep those messages flowing in. 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. And the text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. And so we continue with more on both sides of the story, Paro 106, and looking forward to your messages and your calls right here on both sides of the story. We thank you for staying with us, for sharing with us, and for giving us the opportunity to engage you in conversations and discussions here on both sides of the story, Paro 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaner's website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. And there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening, and where we have a lot of unpacking to do as well. So here's a message from one of the sponsors for Power 106 FM. And this was directing our attention to those, or this was a follow-up to those affected by Hurricane Beryl. So that's what this one was about. And we will follow up. All right, we have a lot of homework to do, and we will do it. So let us continue with more on both sides of the story, Paro 106 FM. And we look forward to your usual participation. And just a couple of coincidental matters. that we'll perhaps take up with you at some point. But a lot was happening around that time, those years, as has been happening, especially at this time of year, celebrations, and not too much distance between the two periods. That's for discussion, except to give up a couple of examples. 1952, George Roden set a new British all-comers and British national record of 41.8 seconds over 440 yards, and Herb McKinley set at 20.9 second record for the 220 yards in 1952. And this was at a meet in Glasgow, Scotland. Now, here's one of the differences now. The medals in Jamaica from Glasgow, Scotland, 21st, 1956. So it took a while for the medals to get to those who should get them. And it also outlines, the history also outlines how things unfolded in the year 1962, where Queen Elizabeth's sister, Princess Margaret, left London about 1:15 in the afternoon, Jamaica time, on this day in 1962, aboard a Britannia airliner, which was chartered by the British government. The princess was on her way to Jamaica for the independence celebrations. Princess Margaret represented her sister Queen Elizabeth at Jamaica's independence celebrations. She was accompanied by her husband, Lord Snowdon. A ministerial delegation representing the British government at the celebrations were also aboard the aircraft. The princess arrived in Kingston, Jamaica, the following morning, August 3. Round up, pretty much the same general idea. The Gleaner reported on this day in 1962 that an Institute of Education was to be set up at the University of the West Indies, funds for establishment being provided by the Ford Foundation to the extent of $592,750 or about £207,462. The institute would aim to bring the teacher training institutions of the Caribbean area into a common system with equivalent standards and, among other things, help the governments of the participating territories with in-service training of teachers. So we shift back to the observances, the celebrations for Independence 62. Teams of runners of the Boys Brigade team carrying the Jamaican flag around the island were expected to carry the flag from Clarendon Park to Savannah Lamar and Jacksontown on this in 1962. The plan was for 500 Boys Brigade to carry the national flag around the island. Wonder if there are any surviving participants in these runs. Wonder if they're still with us. Would love to hear from them. The plan was for 500 runners drawn from the Jamaica Boys Brigade to carry the national flag around the island, ending at the National Stadium on August 5 as the contribution of the Boys Brigade to the independence celebrations. The first runners drawn from the 1st Jamaica Company of the Boys Brigade were sent off at a formal ceremony held on July 31st in Victoria Park, at which the Governor, Sir Kenneth Blackburn, island patron of the Boys Brigade, presented the flag. the runners were sent off by the mayor of Kingston. And so the runners were sent off by the mayor, Councillor Frank Spalding, and the prayers were given by Reverend John Stewart, Vice President of the Kingston Battalion of the Boys Brigade. And still in 62, the Gleaner reported on this day in 1962 that the public would have the facilities of 10 modern receiving sets in the Victoria Park for viewing the televised program of Jamaica's independence ceremony at Gordon House and evening programs of entertainment and information from Friday, August 3rd to Wednesday, August 8th. A smaller number of receiving sets were being installed in Coke Hall for private viewing. These facilities were being made available through the Gleaner Company and N.V. Phillips of Holland, who together made an offer to the government through the Independence Celebrations Committee to provide temporary television operation as a service to the people of Jamaica. Did you hear that? Yes, these facilities were being made available through the Gleaner Company and N.V. Phillips of Holland, who together made an offer to the government through the Independence Celebrations Committee to provide temporary television operation as a service to the people of Jamaica. 9 years later, on March 18, 1971, Jamaica's first Philips television factory was opened. Can you believe this one? 9 years later, on March 18, 1971, Jamaica's first Philips television factory was opened at 172C Orange Street in downtown Kingston. And you can tell these are the early developments of this Jamaican society back then in 1962. The Honorable Donald Sangster, Minister of Finance, would purchase the first national savings bond at the Bank of Jamaica at 10 a.m. on this day in 1962. Regulations made under the law were passed in the House of Representatives the previous week. Bonds were in units of £1 and were available for purchase at the Bank of Jamaica in denominations of $1, $5, 10, 50, and 100 units, and at commercial banks in denominations of 1, 5, and 10 units only. Prices of the denominations of 1,000, 250, 100, 50, and 25 pounds respectively were to be drawn for each month. And then now, looking ahead, what is on the horizon for this country called Jamaica? Well, what was 1962? The Gleaner's front page editorial captioned "The Road Ahead." In a few days' time, Jamaica becomes a nation independent unto itself. I think we're going to have to pause here because we're close to the break. And we want to share the information with you. So let's go to the break and come back with more in a moment.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106. You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45. Shop in ease and comfort at Music Mart. Get everything music. Pianos, keyboards, acoustic and electric guitars, drums, amplifiers, recording equipment, instruction text, and reference books. Shop online at www.musicmart.biz answer 10 or call 876-960-7712. Music Mart, Jamaica's only complete music store.
Big Money Bingo! It's here again when the RJ Arena Netballers present Big Money Bingo with Vincent Casanova. Win big cash prizes of $100,000 from our sponsors. Carrot Choice Pharmacy, Bright Diamond Funeral Services and Supplies, Affirm Ambulance Service, Globe Scope Travel Vacations, and 876 Nurses. Prizes and surprises from Cows Manufacturing in your bakery, the Educational Network. Get your tickets now at RJ Arena 32 Lyndhurst Road and the Gleaner Company for only $1,500. Only $1,500. Big Money Bingo! Friday, August 2, 2024 at 7 North Street. You hear? August 2, 7 North Street starting at 7 p.m. when DJ Xavier. Enough vibes, prizes, and surprises at Big Money Bingo!
So we're looking at the early stages of nationhood. In this case, it's Jamaica. And using the very priceless pages of the Gleaner, taking us back to 1962, the birth of a nation, and the opinion makers were expressing themselves, weren't sure what to expect from this little country called Jamaica. So the Gleaner's front page editorial captioned, "The road ahead. In a few days' time, Jamaica becomes a nation independent unto itself, responsible for its own tragedies and successes, answerable only to God and to history. Our 4,000 odd square miles of high mountain and valley and plain, scrub and pasture, ruinette and far, river and gully, headland and bay add to very little in terms of worldly wealth, even with bauxite and cane and bananas and tourism. But we are by no means the worst off in the world. More than half of the millions of people in the world suffer from hardships and privations, which the average Jamaican has never witnessed nor experienced. Jamaica's modest and moderate level of subsistence can, however, be improved, but it will need, and this is the clincher now, it will need a massive and determined effort by all the people. It will need a massive and determined effort by all the people. And those of us who are still around would know that from experience. And it goes on, the front page Gleaner back in 62. Indeed, with the growing population, so the population producers, in a manner of speaking, couldn't wait to start growing the population. Nothing wrong with that. Indeed, with the growing population, the present standards of life will fall. This is 1962 now, let's remember. Indeed, with a growing population, the present standards of life will fall if we do not produce more wealth by work, by inventiveness, by thrift. Let's repeat that piece here now. The present standards of life will fall if we do not produce more wealth by work. Again, if we do not produce more wealth by work, by inventiveness, by thrift. The road ahead is hard, but it is the same road that all free peoples have to travel. On that road, fear is the enemy and courage is the true companion. We have had courage in the past against odds different but just as desperate. Now we must demonstrate that same fortitude to build the future of the independent Jamaica. That's the Gleaner's front page editorial published on this day in 1962, 62 years ago. And we're still having to ask ourselves questions and ask each other questions. Nothing wrong with that. But we still have some ways to go, don't we? Notwithstanding how far we have come. Just thought we'd share that with you. And our sporting prowess continues, all other things being equal. 1963, the first World Netball Tournament was held. 1963. The tournament involved England, Australia, New Zealand, Scotland, same teams. Northern Ireland, Ceylon, well, it's no longer Ceylon, it's what they call themselves again. This is Sri Lanka, yes. The team was captained. The team was captained by Barbara Jones. Other members of the team were Joy Grant, Valerie Fleming, Hermione Edmondson, Madge Broderick, Sonia Thompson, Grace Beckford, Dawn Days, Avis Graham, and Pauline Sinclair. Right, I think we can leave that there for now. So that's a bit of the history, the early days in the birth of this new nation, Jamaica, land we love. So we continue. Work is burning in the field, so we will continue as we welcome those who are joining us for the first time. Welcome back if you're a regular. And it's always good to have you sharing with us on both sides of the story, Paro 106 FM. Elder Michael Needham, always good to hear from you. He says, greetings, Sir Dervan Malcolm. Greetings, Elder Michael Needham. Natalie in Washington Gardens, hello to you too. She says she's watching from Washington Gardens, Kingston, Jamaica. Have any information on the weather forecast? The weather is very overcast here, she says. Yes, let's see if we can tell you what's happening. There's a massive, where did it go? Popped off the screen. There's a massive tropical wave that is expected to approach Florida, and that could form into a depression. That's the word from the Hurricane Center in Florida. So, and this section is now colored in yellow on the map. We trust that whatever the situation, impact will be minimal. Can't take a message, as my late mother would say. We can't take a message right now. But we give thanks nonetheless. As we continue with more on your program, both sides of the story, Paro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaner's website, go-jamaica.com. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. And the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. Let's give you a bit more of the music, and then we come back in just a moment. We're still hoping to get some general feedback on the observances usually at this time of year and what it means to you, or does it mean something to you? We're putting that out there at this time of the year. Independence, emancipation. What does it all mean to you? What are your thoughts on the collective subjects of emancipation and independence? The lines are open to you, and we'd love to hear from you at a time like this, as at a time such as this. 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Let's see who is calling us now. Looks like David Crosburn. Good afternoon, Mr. Crosburn. How are you?
Yeah, good afternoon. All the best to you and all your listeners. May you continue to have a good season.
Hope the same for you too.
Yeah, thanks a lot. You read a message earlier where I'm going to pay listeners was asking about a book, the history book.
Or was it the paper? Was it the newspaper?
No, man.
Okay.
It's a message you got. Yesterday morning, I spoke to Lady Althea on her emancipation program.
Yes.
So I mentioned on the program about her history book, the history of Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
It's out of print. It's a book that was done, could be in the 60s, by an historian, Clinton Black.
Mm-hmm.
I'm moving from the era I'm speaking. But that book is a book that every household in Jamaica should have one. They should reprint it. It's a real good book that gives you the foundational understanding of Jamaica. So I was telling Althea about them being Clarina, and that them being in Clarina is a Welsh.
Yes, Welsh name. One moment, please. One moment.
Contractors, developers, and small builders. Contact Coast to Coast Group of Companies for high quality concrete Unique products. The time by Coast to Coast Group of Companies is
3 o'clock.
Yes, Mr. Crosburn, thank you for coming back to us.
Yes. So I'm saying Lemmy Thailand was a Welsh
A Welsh place name.
place name. And about 3 weeks ago, you read about the Dembe estate. When about 1954. In that article that you read from the archives, you mentioned that the estate was about 5,000 acres. And I concur with that. And it was actually an active sugar mill that operated until the 1920s. So following the closure in 1920s, then they began to cut up the estate and
That's the same as doing subdivisions.
yes, yeah. So the general manager from Rome, a gentleman by the name of Harold Cusack, he encouraged the JAS to adopt the agricultural show that Rome originated in Jamaica. And it was by that way the Denver agricultural show started there. Because even one of the early, like about 1954, the cattle judging cup was named in honor of Harold Cusack. Also, I don't know if you're familiar with the water wheel.
Yes, that's in Trelawney.
No, man, the water
Which
wheel
one?
at Denver.
Oh, no.
Yeah, man, there's a water wheel there. There's a water wheel there. I had the experience of refurbishing that water wheel and putting, but it's run down again. It needs to be add some luster to it and put a full storyboard on it. So I wish the authorities may act on that, because it was given to them by Cusack, Harold Cusack, who was the general manager at Rome and who encouraged the starting of the Dem show. That gentleman also, Cusack, was one of the early managers of our environmental organization, Mr. Harold Cusack. But there's a lot of significance with them because it was Governor Henry Morgan who left from Jamaica and went and overrun Maracaibo in Venezuela. And from Maracaibo in Venezuela, he brought back to Jamaica 250,000 pieces of aid. So he and his fellow Welsh men were not able to stay in Port Royal. The king exiled them from Port Royal. So they went out into the parishes now and made the investment in Dembe. Below Dembe, just about 3 miles down the road, there's an area known as Swansea. Then up in Westmoreland at Grangeville used to be named after Henry Morgan. It used to be Morgantown until it was changed to...
Where's Morgan's Pass?
Up in Kleiner.
So that's the same as the name that you attributed to it a while ago?
Well, Morgan's Pass
Hmm.
is in Clarendon,
Hmm.
but Morgan's Town was formerly Grange Hill,
Oh,
which
is that Grange Hill in Westmoreland?
Indeed. That's why just down the road from Grange Hill in Westmoreland, there is Morgan's Bridge, all in honor of N. Morgan. And then further up the road, there is an area what the present citizens, anyone up to say in their 60s would know that place as Mijam. They would call the place Mijam, but it was formerly known as Charlottenburg, which Henry Morgan gave to his wife. Charlottenburg.
What's the name? I didn't get the name.
Charlottenburg.
Schwallattenberg. Not are you or is it Schwallenberg?
No.
No.
CHARLOTTE.
Lotte.
Yeah.
So that's Charlotte what?
Charlottenburg.
Lottingberg. Berg.
Yeah. If my pronunciation is correct. But there's a similar place.
CHARLOTTENBERG, perhaps?
Charlottenburg. Charlottenburg. A similar place name is in St. Mary. Charlottenburg.
Okay.
Yeah. So, how it became Mijam for the present generation. One of the workers at the estate, those are sugar mill. So he was spelling the name Charlottenburg. So he gets stuck and he said Mijam. And so the place take on the name Mijam. Presently, all the citizens there, even up to age 60, 62, 65, they would know the area as, rather than Charlottenburg, they would know it as Mijam. Even the mountains there, a mountain is there that is named Mijam Mountain. But it is really Charlottenburg, given from Henry Morgan, who had a German wife. Similarly,
and that's the one when she supposedly told him thanks in German.
That is up in Clarendon.
Dankevel.
Yeah. That's near Morgan's Pass in Clarendon. Yeah. So that Welshman, we have him as a pirate and so, but he contributed immensely to the early development of Jamaica.
Well, in this life, you have to take the good and the bad, one way or another.
Because not only did he overrun Maracaibo in Venezuela, it's all set out in our history book. But I'm telling you, it's in our history book, it's in the History of Jamaica by Clinton Black. But we would just read it and not understand it. I did not understand it until when I went to Venezuela, and immediately I came back from Venezuela, I stumbled upon the book.
You realize there was they played the feature on TV. Was it yesterday or a couple of days ago? Featuring Jamaicans in that area in Costa Rica. Yes. And in that region.
I wasn't aware. I love the place. Beautiful. Yeah. So I told you about it some time ago, the oil, that the oil is on the land. And like in my home, like at my home now, the pipe would run and go into the main line that carry to be processed, you know. So it's each dwelling house.
Each dwelling, you can leave it at dwelling. Each dwelling, it already gives the idea of the house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Each dwelling would have the pipe running with the oil. And the whole area of Maracaibo, it's like when you would pass down by Petrojam and smell the diesel of a large area up there. You'd smell the diesel from there. And strange enough in Dervan, you know that most of their finished products and so is imported from north of the country. In Venezuela, they don't do the finished product. They import it. They import the finished product. But back to...
But isn't there a component, some kind of a finishing component here in Jamaica?
Well, yes, they had some under the Petrocaribe. They had some arrangement there. I'm not sure what's happening to that, but that's part of it, you know.
Mm.
Yeah, but most of their finished product is imported from Colombia and so on. Well, they born with Colombia and just across from Caracas, then over less than 60 miles would be Trinidad and Tobago. But to finish with N. Morgan, he contributed significantly to the early development of Jamaica, which is not really fully told in our text. But the text the lady was asking about the history of Jamaica by Clinton Black. I think the government should reprint it and give each household, allow each household to get a copy to keep for the generations to follow and so. Because when you sit and listen to what you're reading from the archives in Dervan, you will see that part of our problem is that we are putting the cart in front of the horse. So we cannot, because the cart is in front of the horse, it negates the gallop that we should have as a country. And we continue to put the cart in front of the horse. I'll just close up by showing you this. You mentioned about 1962, 1963. In 1963, Jamaica exported 100,000 tons of sugar to England, 100,000 tons of sugar to Canada, 100,000 tons of sugar to the US for the first and only time in the history of the industry. We supplied 300,000 tons of sugar was exported. That was in 1963. By 1965, the industry made 523,000 tons of sugar from 19 sugar factories. That was 1965. By the following year, in 1966, all-time record amount of cane was grown, making we grew more cane in 1966 than what was processed in 1965. But yet, in 66, we made less sugar. But that's for a different discussion. But the point I'm going on to say to you now, by 1968, the largest commission of inquiry, the Mordecai inquiry in the Jamaica sugar industry took place. Can you imagine? We were on a path, a purple patch run, and yet they have to have a commission of inquiry. And when I question myself and ask, why was there this need for a commission of inquiry? And such a purple patch.
Well, Would love to talk some more, but we have to break it here.
Yes. So
Uh,
blessings and all the best to you and the listeners and continue to be very good.
you too. Thank you very much for
Yes.
being on air with us. Take care.
Yes. Bye.
Bye bye.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
The Jamaica Agricultural Society, in association with the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, presents Denby Sanity with the theme Building Back the Resilience. August 6th, the Denby Showground. Make it carry done. Gates are open at 8 a.m. Come see livestock display, farm queen competition, exhibit booths, seminars, Kiddies Village, and much more. Music by Renaissance.
Admission adults $1,500, children $600.
Denby 17, August 6th. My loyalty to give. Oh, we are of the evenings, now make us strong and free. All vows and loyal promises, we and tears to give. I pledge my heart is silent as God and it shall live.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Good afternoon to Miss Evadne. Evadne White says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm, to you and staff of Power 106. Hoping you all have a wonderful Emancipation Day. It is not going to be nice without the Denby show. Anyway, God is good. Enough love to you and all in class. Take care now, teacher, says Miss Evadne. Thank you, Miss Evadne, for your message. All the very best. Franklin McDonald has posted a link. Which one is this now? Oh, Be My AI image description. Oh, this is selected by Franklin McDonald. Let's take a quick look and see what we have here from him. He's always searching and researching and sharing as he researches and researches. It's just taking a while, as usual, for the link to load. And this is the drawback for those who would like to have a quick read, a quick link. It's taking a while. Let's see what we have here. Right, so this one has unfolded before our very eyes. Be My AI. And it has the date, August 2nd, 2024. There's a map of our region. And it says below that, Be My AI. The image is a weather map from the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida, showing a 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook. The map covers the Atlantic Ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Caribbean Sea. The key details, the map is titled 7-Day Graphical Tropical Weather Outlook. There's a red X marked in the Caribbean Sea, indicating a disturbance with a high chance of cyclone formation, greater than 60%. The disturbance is labeled 4, F-O-U-R. The map includes a legend at the bottom explaining the symbols. Yellow X for less than 40% chance, orange X for 40 to 60% chance, red X for greater than 60% chance, open circle for depression, red circle for storm, hurricane symbol for hurricane, red X with a circle for post-tropical cyclone or remnants. The map is dated 1:39 p.m. Eastern Daytime, Friday, August 2, 2024. The simplification is quite palpable, Mr. MacDonald. This kind of simplification should make a difference and make more of us more aware of what to look for, especially at this time of the year. So we thank you very much for your approach, Mr. MacDonald, in terms of your Be My AI link. So over to the rest of us, over to all of us to continue to have a better understanding of the various elements having to do with the weather conditions and features. Thank you very much, Mr. MacDonald. Well done. And we will try our best to take that approach and changes in terms of the when these some of these apps are updated, etc. There might be slight changes, but we like the idea. We like the idea, Mr. McDonald. Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing. And I think Mr. Crosburn just left a link having to do with the Sugar Industry Inquiry Commission of 1966. So he forwarded that a short while ago at, when was that? 18 minutes past 3 o'clock. So maybe trying to clarify or qualify, more like clarify, to clarify the essence of the subject matter that our regular listener, Mr. Crossburn. All right, so let's continue with more. When it opens properly, we'll perhaps get an opportunity to see the difference that you're trying to point out to us as far as the sugarcane in 1966 is concerned. All right, so let's report of the Sugar Industry Inquiry Commission, 1966, Jamaica. And this one looks like we'll have to borrow a book, print book, English, 1967. Borrow from the Alma Jordan Library. We're going to have to do this in our time, sorry, because we still have to keep the broadcast running. So thank you for the additional resource, the Alma Jordan Library. We've made a mental note. It's there and it's not going anywhere. It will be on the device. So we'll hold on to that, but we have to keep it going. So thank you very much for your usual participation, Mr. Crosburn. Thank you very much. Mr. MacDonald, thank you as well. And so we continue with more on your program, both sides of the story, Paro 106 FM, taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. So it's a good time to share your thoughts on matters to do with emancipation, independence, governance, nationhood, the birth of a nation, It's a mixture of so many elements. So feel free to share your thoughts, ideas, suggestions, concerns, wishes, hopes, aspirations. Lines are open. 876-922-4112 to 5. Inez Ayona Campbell, happy Friday to you too, and all the others listening in and participating. Thank you. We appreciate you. And we look forward to your continuing support here on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM. So those numbers once again, 876-922-4112 to 5. Joan Edgehill just joined us. She says, blessings, Mr. Dervan and friends. Blessings to you too. Joan Edgehill, thank you for joining us. Good to have you on board. And may you continue to listen to us and participate in the discussions and conversations here on both sides of the story. Thank you very much. We appreciate your input. And please keep it going. As we continue with more on your program, both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. And taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number. Well, let's look at this one. The best books of 2024 so far. Oh, come on, it's not cooperating. The link is not cooperating. Let's see. Oh, it's temporarily unavailable. So maybe they're making some adjustments there. Or they felt that they should not have opened it up so quickly. I don't know. I would love to be able to see these publications. Would love to. All right, we'll keep checking on that one. In the meantime, we continue with more on your program, both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM, giving you an opportunity to express yourselves on nationhood, express yourselves on emancipation, independence, governance, etc. Let's see some responses coming through. Someone has shared with us a few videos, and we have to be careful here in terms of content. So let's see. There's a lot of promotion taking place by ordinary Jamaicans, everybody, who are just capturing their little moments and sending them all over the world. Just a reminder to be careful clicking and sending and all of these things. Be careful. We continue here on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. All right, keep them coming in here on both sides of the story. Guess who has just joined us? Looks like we have Miss June, otherwise known as Herman, in Oslo, Norway. She has just joined us. Her space looks quite festive. Huge Jamaican flag. Well, might want to watch the color in terms of to determine which one is the bona fide Jamaican flag as opposed to a flag with yellow X. So, but Miss June, for what it's worth, that is her flag. Uh, though we hope well, we might have to send a gold one to you, all the way in Oslo, Norway, so that you have the right flag. See, this yellow is yellow. It's not gold, and it is supposed to be gold. Let's take the break and come back.
Help us protect Jamaica's borders. Tell us about any illegal guns coming through customs controlled areas. Call Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
3:31 on Power 106.
Auto World.
It's the only program on Jamaican radio dedicated to the world of automobile. It's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Get news and reviews relating to vehicles and automotive technology. Learn the ins and outs of mechanical operation. Find out about the various stakeholders in the local and international automotive sectors. From auto finance to road safety to motorcycles, the Auto World is your one-stop shop for everything auto. That's the Auto World with Shelly and McLagan. Weekdays at 5:15 p.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Both sides of a story.
Confidence in those who serve, especially in the public sector, is vital to Jamaica's progress towards Vision 2030 and beyond. Many people have quietly and diligently given sterling service over the years to the benefit of many Jamaicans at home and across the world. Power 106 FM, in playing its part in showcasing those individuals who served in building our nation and to create greater public understanding and appreciation of their sacrifice, presents the feature Service Stalwarts. Listen to Service Stalwarts every Wednesday at 4 p.m. during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm right here on Power 106 FM.
Both sides of a story.
I pledge my heart is silent as God, and it shall live. My God, my strength, my love, as my loyalty to give. Oh, green and lonely evenings can make us strong and free. For vows and loyal promises, words and deeds to thee. I pledge my heart forever to serve with humble pride. Wish I give home and ever, so long as earth and mine. I pledge my heart is silent as God, and it shall live. My word, my strength, my love, and my loyalty to give. Oh, green and lonely evenings shall make us strong and free. Our vows and loyal promises, words and deeds to thee. I pledge my
There appears to be quite a number of community activities from what we're picking up on the ground. And someone here says, Happy Emancipendence celebrations, you all. Sophia Nemard says, Good afternoon. It's been a while. Beryl have me away, says Sophia Nemard. Well, we trust that you are resilient enough to get any such system out of your way. No, it's not. It's easier said than done, right? But we, as a people, as a country, we have what it takes to defend and protect our people and our country. And so we shall continue doing that going forward. So we are ready, or are we? Let's demonstrate our readiness as we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Velta Wilson, good afternoon to you too. Thank you very much for your message. Always good to hear from you and other regular participants, listeners. Happy to have you join us on Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. So we're still trying to pick your brain, but you are not allowing us. We're trying to get your thoughts on emancipation, independence, nationhood, national development, and related matters. So we leave it up to you because the lines are open and they have always been. So it's really up to you to share with us your thoughts, your ideas, your concerns, your issues. You can call 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. And the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. As we continue to listen to you, voice your issues and concerns, let's go to the phone lines, 876-922-4112-5. Hello, good afternoon. Hello? Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
How are you?
I am giving thanks for life. And you?
Well, we are offering a lot of things here and there about giving thanks and praise.
Say that again. You're fixing what here and there? No, I didn't hear you.
But I'm moving along to that thankful world, you know. Are you hearing me?
A little better now.
Yes. I have been observing something for a good time now. I've been
Sorry, we're being
observing
they.
something for a good time now. That the big supermarkets and the banks short of one thing. I got the bank as the people come in, they come out of the car, but they are merely making it to go to the bank. I think that these big places should have some wheelchair to assist the customers, you know, because it's not easy. You might drive, go to the bank, come out, and depends on where you get the parking. The same thing with the supermarkets. And they have never had a consideration. I've never seen a wheelchair in a supermarket.
Well, more than the wheelchair, the ramp. Isn't there? No, isn't there a ramp where you're referring to? No ramp? Hello?
You mean a special proper? You mean a special place where you
Yes, where instead of using the steps, for example, you use that paved area, paved slanted area via wheelchair or other similar similar
well, 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 the wheelchair, I've had to go to the hospital sometimes. I've been recently coming to Spanish Town and they pick you up in a wheelchair and it's so helpful because it depends on your joints, depends on your body, you know, no matter what the ramp look like. I understand what you're saying. But the wheelchair would take you around. They could, at least you could drive. I've seen people in wheelchair out by this new supermarket out in Portmore. They're going around shopping in the wheelchair. Price Mart. It was such a wonderful thing to behold. You go travel around, you pick up the thing, come to the cashier, come out in your wheelchair, and then you end the week. I think they all of them should. This time has come to look at that now, because we are in modern times, and what is great about a wheelchair. Sometimes I myself would be glad to go into a wheelchair to shop around, even in the bank. You stand up long at the bank counter. Need to have a special wheelchair for those purposes. For those who can't stand up long, they could stand and still do their business. What do you think?
of course, we're in the business of people, and it means we have to be more compassionate and demonstrate a greater level of empathy in how we relate to each other. By all means, it's all about people. Life is about people.
There's a certain supermarket in Portmore, I tell you, they're a good business. And you go in there, I said a piece of food or a little thing in a corner. There's nothing. And they have other businesses in there. They have restaurant and things. There's other things. The line might be long. People need to sit and relax and wait, because people can say what they want to say until when you get sick or you get aged. So I'm calling on these places, the banks, the big supermarket, and any big business in Jamaica to have at least one or two wheelchair around to help the aged on the handicap. you know,
No, we don't use that word, that one again, the one with the H word there.
to get the what you
Yes.
use again?
Persons with disabilities.
But some people will tell you that some people are pretty aged and they don't have a disability. So I don't know. You might be right. I want to say how right, we have to go with your correction, what I mean.
Mm.
So we're glad for the time, and he said after a storm is a calm, but after this hurricane, it wasn't really a calm; it was really storm all over. So we have to be careful what we do, how we live, and try to cut out gambling and bad habits. Young people, young man, later on, they do gambling outside. If you do some of the gambling, they can't, but them did some bad days. Poker. Because poker is a nice game, You sit around the table with 4 or 5 gentlemen, and you start to share the card, and you bet your money when you can't. It's interesting. But I appeal to these people now, to young men, women, cut out the cash bad thing, cut out the thing. And as I talk about the cash bad thing, I'm appealing to the people who run the cash bad to they are more lenient with the workers. Some of them work on the Saturday, Friday, Sunday. The only day that they don't work is maybe the Christmas day there, that big holiday. And to give them some some benefit, put them into get them into the deduction of the where when they get old they can claim on the government for NIS pension and thing. People
collecting money for you. It's a very serious job, very heavy job. And these cashiers, that's all they do. They deal with money, deal with this, deal with that. So we call on the employer.
Sorry, we have to take another break.
Oh, you, all right, let me take thanks to you for today.
Okay. Thank you for the call.
Keep yourself great. So thank you.
You too. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.
You're listening to Pearl 106 FM. The time is now
3:45.
The Jamaica Agricultural Society presents the ultimate Denby 90s to Restoration Party, Tuesday, August 6, 2024. The Denby Showground. Music by Renaissance featuring DJ Delano, DJ Smurf, CJ Liquid. Live performance by The General Degree. Guest artist Ja Vinci. Admission is $1,500. Tuesday, August 6, 2024. See you there.
Thanks for calling 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Cuban in Georgia is messaging us. He says, "Good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. If the Governor General is working for the monarch, why should the taxpayers of Jamaica pay him for working for the monarch? We could use his pay to renovate our crumbling schools and infrastructure," says Cuban in Georgia. And priorities that lead to reasoned decisions and opportunities to have the input of experts, tried, tested, and proven professionals, so that once that decision is made, it's an opportunity to move to the next level. So that's the message from Cuban in Georgia. Thank you very much for sharing. Lady Joan in Bermuda says, "Hello, Sir D, and your global audience. Happy Independence weekend to you all as we celebrate our 2-day holiday here. Stay safe, Jamaica." And she makes reference to a 2-day holiday. It's what they call it, match, but it's essentially 2 days off that they take just to play cricket in Bermuda. 2 days. In the case of this year, it's the 30th and the 31st, I believe. 30th and the 31st. And it's an opportunity to just enjoy the company of family, friends, colleagues, neighbors, one grand celebration. So that's what Joan Richardson has been referring to as she has been sharing the story. And in Bermuda, they call it cup match, as in the winners of the cricket cup, the particular trophy, cup match. So that's what that is about. And she says, "Hello, Sir D, and your global audience. Happy Independence weekend to you all as we celebrate our 2-day holiday here. Stay safe, Jamaica." Thank you very much, Joan in Bermuda. Hello to your husband, Willard, and your daughter Roxy and your granddaughter Amira. Hello to the entire family of Jamaicans in Bermuda, and all the very best. Thank you for sharing. Let's see who else we have to check in with now. Here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. We're seeing some videos here, but uh, we haven't been able to audition the recordings, and therefore it will take time for us to get around to these messages. And let's see. Oh, Cuban in Georgia pops up again. What is he saying here now? He says, Sir Malcolm, I'm calling for the renovation and restoration of the Jam World Entertainment Complex to facilitate the expansion of the complex for the purpose of dancehall stage shows, concerts, and festivals to bring more tourists to the area and Mr. Cartel to perform once again. That's from Cuban in Georgia. Thank you for your message, Cuban in Georgia. As we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website. Natalie Winter says, my view is to be truly emancipated and independent. We must liberate our minds from one way of operating and doing business and open our minds up to different ideas and options. That's from Natalie in Washington Gardens. Thank you for your message, Natalie. Nicola says, good afternoon, Dervan. Good afternoon, Nicola in central Jamaica. Thank you for checking in on both sides of the story on Power 106 FM. And we still want to hear from you. We're still listening out for your calls on the subjects of emancipation, independence, nationhood, etc. We want to hear your perspectives on these positions or your position on these matters. Any way you flip it, it's still just trying to get an understanding from you as to where you stand on these matters. So feel free to call us on 876 922 4112 to 5, 876 922 4112 to 5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876 365 3346. 876 365 3346. Here's another message. Whoa, a little on the lengthy side, but we'll try our best. Whoa. It says here, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. I'm just here thinking about how the Jamaican Prime Minister loves Jamaica and the Jamaican citizens, and even more, the people who vote for them to win. Now, with the compensation review, the only set of people who benefited were the Prime Minister, members of Parliament, councillors, and the rest of their colleagues who work close to them. I thought I heard the Prime Minister say the new compensation, where is it? Where is it? Okay, I thought I heard the Prime Minister saying the new compensation package would put the citizens in a better position, but it only worked for them. The Prime Minister is taking home $28.6 million per year. The cabinet ministers are taking home 22.8 million per year. Members of parliament are taking home 14.2 million per year before tax, and this does not include allowances. A teacher, after working for 20 years in the profession, is taking home less than $210,000 per month, and I could talk about their salaries or the salaries of other government workers who hold a first degree or a master's, but I have not done in depth research on their salaries. But I know they're not getting anything either after the compensation review, where we should have been much better off. Seems like the compensation review only benefited the Prime Minister and his, well, I'm not going to use Jamaicans can be in a much than they are, but the Prime Minister have us working as slaves and we're not being compensated for our work. Sadly, I cannot enjoy emancipation or independence under this government who were born in humble beginnings and forgot about where they are coming from, says this person. Thank you very much for your message. And here's another one. This is a call coming through on our text line, same as the WhatsApp number. And let's see who this is. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
How are you?
Fine, and you?
I'm fine, thank you. Is I sent you a message 2 days ago or so.
Oh, this is Natalie.
No, it's not.
It's not? Okay.
No.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so I sent you a message on behalf of the Button of the Alumni Association.
Oh, that came in this afternoon. That came in this afternoon. We're live on the radio, so if you're making a request other than program related, I would not be able to have that conversation now. But I did see your message, so I'll respond accordingly.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Take care. Thank you very much. Yes, that does happen sometimes. I get requests whether or not I'm on air or off air. But so it is. We just have to marshal the program and get on with it. But sorry about that interruption, but it's not their fault either. Okay. All right. Let's see. We read this one already. Where they're coming from. Yes, we did. So let's move to another message. Joan says cup match holiday. The first day is Emancipation Day, and today is Mary Prince Day. However, my cup match team, St. George's, is not doing good at all, taking lots of licks. Somerset is very happy. All right, so that's Joan in Bermuda, keeping the tradition of cup match going and marking Emancipation Day. And today is Mary Prince Day. However, she says her cup match team, George's, is not doing good at all, taking lots of licks. Somerset is very happy, she says. And let's see who else. Here's another one coming through. As we continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Paro 106 FM. We need to take a break. Let's take the break.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
I want to tell the farmers about the Digital Foundation. It not only helped me as a farmer, but it helped my entire community with farming. I want you to know that they have a new thing coming out called 20 for 20 for 20 grants. If you're a registered community organization with disabilities, schools, even farmers, you need to apply for the grant at the digitalfoundation.org. Sorry,
join your favorite nighttime show, Dear Pastor, with Reverend Dr. Aaron Damas, Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 p.m. Call in or text in and have great discussions with Dear Pastor as we exchange views on a range of subjects. That's Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Damas, Monday to Thursday from 9 to 11 p.m. right here on Power 106 FM, the Power 106 FM app, and go-jamaica.com.
Jesus, oh Jesus, oh how I love to call your name.
Tune in to Power 106 FM for the longest running religious calling program on Jamaican radio, The Prayer Line. Join Pastor Errol Hay and his team as they offer spiritual guidance and intercession grounded in biblical doctrine. Hear powerful testimonies from Jamaica and around the world. The Prayer Line, a source of support and inspiration in these trying times. That's The Prayer Line on Power 106 FM, Sundays at 6:30 p.m. Join us.
You shall live, declare the word of God. Amen. You shall be a living testimony here on the dark side.
Tune in every Thursday at 3:30 p.m. for your legal corner with Dana Walker Huntington during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm on Power 106 FM. It's your source of information regarding U.S. immigration matters, combined with Power 106 FM's pioneer of diaspora broadcasting. Call in with your U.S. immigration queries and concerns on 876-922-41125 or send a text or WhatsApp message to 876-279-8598 and get the answers you need for your U.S. immigration questions. That's your legal corner with Dana Walker Huntington, Thursdays at 3:30 p.m. during both sides of the story with Dervan Malcolm, only on Power 106 FM.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. We're still taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Let's go to this call. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Hold on, I'm hearing Portmore. And who is the other one? No, sorry, Joe. Hello?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing today?
I am fine, thanks. And you?
Yeah, man, I'm so good so far.
Who's this, Zimbabwe?
I'm very concerned about safety. Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. What's the extent of the concern now?
I was just saying I'm very concerned about safety.
Mm-hmm. We all should be. We all should be concerned. Therefore, we will take care.
Yes, because I traverse these roads in Jamaica, and I try my best to be on the safe side. I tell him, Mr. Malcolm, I see some driving on the road. I wonder what happened? Where these people hasten to go? You're into a 50 mile zone and you want to do 100. You know, I mean, he doesn't recognize that you are into a 50 mile zone. You know, all those things just continue. If you don't see the police, you don't comply. I mean, we need to get away from right now accidents on motorbikes. What you call, I would say accident, collisions on motorbikes, trucks. You know, if
Right. In fact, the UN no longer, the UN no
we don't know what
longer,
we're doing.
the UN no longer speak of collisions and crashes as accidents. They don't use that anymore.
Right, because this I don't know what is wrong with them. It's going to bring this country to its knee. You have a heart, there is sickness, and go to the hospital. You can't even get space. You can't get looked after because of these emergencies, right? And these things can have fight. I believe a lot of them can avoid, Mr. Malcolm. And we need to get real, man. We need to start to better follow the road code and drive in an area where the speed say 50, you drive 50. When you say 80, you drive 80. You understand what I mean?
Mhm.
Which 80 is 50. I don't understand. People just every minute there's some collision somewhere. And it have to stop, man. We can't count it. And some of the trucks them coming through my area, they come through at 100 miles an hour. I realize that there's no what you call it, training school for trucks, right? So a man just
What's
learning
that?
off him one and doing him one thing.
What's that a while ago about training for trucks?
I don't know of any driving school for truck, big trucks.
Yes, man. Grenell's driving
Where?
school. Grenell's driving school.
Yeah? Must be
Mhm.
that one, but majority of these drivers just learn by them one by going on a truck. And I tell you can really pick up after that. You don't have to be continuing with this reckless driving. We can do better, Mr. Malcolm, and we need to do better because too much on the road, man. The hospital them burden up right now, the Rambo Health Center. We want to turn it into a small hospital to take the burden off a Corner Regional and the Sablama Hospital and see if we can get at least 2 doctors to 1 patient when the time comes. You understand what I mean? And this is how we try to move to health, education, safety, and food. We have to focus on those areas. And we have to pay attention to time, memory, and space. It makes no sense we just go down the road, Mr. Malcolm, at a certain speed and just hit down somebody and, you know, it don't look good at all, Mr. Malcolm. It is going on for a very long time. A lot of these guys, police should have in them pockets to them comply. When we get to this, when we get there, a nice little country like this, I remember when there's only 600 motor vehicle in the whole entire Westmoreland, because those days you know it by number plate. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
And it wasn't like this. No, sir.
Well,
Even the Montego Bay space here in the town, I want the mayor to check it. I think if it doesn't do something, you're going to only come in a town here by the number plate. So, like 1 time for the week. If your plate start with T, you come on a Tuesday. Because there's no way down here to own motor vehicle. Even today, I went to a certain business place. I may have to tell them, listen, we're going to have to take out some of these flowers and make it into more park to accommodate customers. Because there's no way to park, Mr. Malcolm.
Yeah.
Right now, if there was a shuttle from Reading to Montego Bay town, I would have welcomed it because I'd just go down and go on the shop in town, do my business and come back out.
It really points to the need to revisit our towns and cities here in Jamaica. That what was once established as the number one town center or otherwise, the shift has taken place in such a way that it doesn't last for too long before, or it isn't too long before you have issues and therefore can no longer go the original route because of the changes, and changes now within our respective communities are more rapidly taken than before. And so we have to be mindful of that as well.
Yeah, because there's I don't see where they can put on a gate in the Montego Bay town here to keep out vehicle. I see where they can put some slide, and get some of the bus them that slide from in town straight to Reading.
Bus that slide? What's that?
From there,
bus that slide?
Like how you have like a train line.
Oh, you're talking like a tram, like one of the tram cars.
Right. So you slide to Reading, pick up passenger, drop off. Because to be honest with you, I believe more people that just come to Reading, park the vehicle, come into town, do their business, and back home. And the same thing to Rosal side. You do the same way there. And a matter of fact, that will be pumping some money right into the government to fix some of the roads. Because a lot of people, me have a cousin down in London, and he don't drive into London because there's a matter of fact, him say parking is so expensive that suit him to drive go there and park all day and stay in there.
That's true. I've heard that over the years. Whenever I go to the UK, that always comes up.
Yes, we can make some changes in town here, man, and I tell you, I believe, a lot of changes can make for the greater good, because a lot of these people need to be more sensitized, Mr. Malcolm, on what is going on the road. Look at me now. I was going at least 20 miles an hour some years ago, and a man was coming. I don't know, but I believe me, the impact has got to be some speed here, and hitting to the back of my vehicle. And length and last, when them tell me to come in for the 2-week last I used, because it was my breadwinner, they change and said they can't give me again because the police report come in and say, I am wrong. I was moving from left lane to right lane. You know what I mean? All this kind of rubbish, which the black box is saying nothing like that. So now me after they take them now, me after they plan to send the last cedar tree me got on the goat. And the last goat, we carry them on the steps to get the compensation to the vehicle where they might come from it. The intro and said, report said, I get a leak in the left wheel. Right? And then the police report come in, contradicted, say, I was moving from one lane to the next lane. I don't understand it, Mr. Malcolm. And up to now, they haven't fixed my vehicle back yet.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then just keeping me going and coming, keeping me going and coming. Up to today, I spent some miraculous hours in the office. People will have to fix things around the world, man. We need to do better. Right? We can't live, a matter of fact, living around town here is not a bad thing. But you see, like me, we come from the country and come in a town, and some every time we come in, we spend enough. So me bring something when we come.
You don't want to say too much about that, though. But I get what you're saying.
Right.
Oh,
be going around.
we
You
lost the
wasn't there
connection.
when the accident happened.
We have to go to another break. Okay, thank you for the call. Take care.
Okay, Mr. Malcolm. Have a good
Okay.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15. The Jamaica Agricultural Society, in association with the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, presents Denby Summit under the theme of Building Back the Resilience. August 6th, the Denby Showground. Make it carry down. Gates are open at 8 a.m. Come see livestock display, farm queen competition, exhibit booths, seminars, Kiddies Village, and much more. Music by Renaissance. Admission adults $1,500, children $600. Denby 17, August 6th.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Let's see if we can clear some of these other messages and take some of your calls as well. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Hello? Maybe we lost that one. Sorry about that. Let's go again. Hello, good afternoon. Okay. All right, let's go for some of the messages. This one. Joan in Bermuda says, Cup match as we know it did not start with Somerset Cricket Club or George's Cricket Club. This calendar event actually began with 2 lodges on either end of the island. The lodges that began recognizing the freedom of enslaved Bermudians were Somers Pride of India, number 899 of St. George's, and Victoria and Albert 1027 of Somerset. They were under the banner of the Grand United Order of Odd Fellows. Historically, at picnics of the lodges, the favorite pastime was to have a game of cricket between the combined orders of the Independent Order of Odd Fellows and the Grand United Order of Odd Fellows. The original colors of the lodges were as follows: royal blue and scarlet red for Somerset, and a navy blue, known as winter blue, with sky blue for St. George. Thank you very much, Joan in Bermuda, for sharing, for refreshing our memory in a sense, because you did try to explain to us when we were in Bermuda, what was it, 2 years ago or so. But thank you very much. Let's see. Franklin McDonald has posted or shared August 4th to 6th will be the anniversary of Hurricane Arlene, 1980, hit on Jamaica. So August 4th to 6th will be the anniversary of Hurricane Arlene, 1980, hit on Jamaica. And this one says, Mr. Malcolm, is that the gentleman who donated the health center in Hanover? Please give him my contact or send him mine. All right, let's see. Let's see how we do this. Let's share. It's taking a while to assume share mode. And we don't have all afternoon. Jeannie Chambers, good afternoon to you too. Bless up. Thank you for your message. Thank you for checking in. Good to see you. So we're just now trying to share the contact information, but it's taking a little while. All right, we'll have to finish that project after work because this is taking a while. This to open this link. Sorry about that. But we'll come back to that a little later on. In the meantime, let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Cuban in Georgia sent us a couple of messages. He says, Sir Malcolm, education, training, and discipline are the most crucial parts of our existence. Education, training, and discipline must be our way moving forward. Sir Malcolm, the JRC should be, I think you mean the Jamaica, that's the Jamaica Railway Corporation, right? Is that it? Sir Malcolm, the JRC should be part of Portmore entertainment industry instead of citizen driving from Kingston and St. Andrew to Jamworld. Thousands could take the train to the facility and back at a reasonable rate because Jamworld must be built with all different kinds of features, even a hotel, shopping stores, Jamaican restaurants, and international restaurants to facilitate the experience. The JRC must be a major part of the Jamworld experience. So says Cuban in Georgia. Thank you for your message, Cuban in Georgia. All the very best to you as we continue to take your calls and your messages. The numbers to call 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Someone has posted a video of those police units. Was it 47 of them, I think? About 47 of them. And it looks like, not sure how recent this was, but looks like the commissioner's office and quite a number of units. So that is what else to come. Well, we're continuing with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, and we say a big thank you to those who have been responding to our urging for them to give us some expressions or feedback on the subject of emancipation, independence, nation building, nationhood, etc. Would love to hear your thoughts on these matters on both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And still keen to take your calls and share your messages. But we continue. Thank you for that information. This period of time, Franklin McDonald, the 4th to the 6th, you remind us, the anniversary of Hurricane Arlene of 1980, which hit Jamaica, or what is written here is hit on Jamaica. So thank you, Mr. McDonald, for your message and your reminders. Twain Antonio Jackman, good afternoon to you too. Thank you very much for tuning in to both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. And I think we said hi to Jeannie Chambers already. Yes, we did. Let's see. This one says, good day, Mr. Malcolm, and to all our peaceful, what's this now? Listener, I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. What the hello this man, what the hell this man talking about? Newer, whoa, what is this? Oh dear, this is like trying to translate another language. Warner for more than 100 years and people did not take heed. What a world. Mall. What? A world mall. How call God help us all. God help us all. We all behaved like we don't know rule the world. And I know the sock people would think a God run things, but we'll and come again. Oh dear. Satan run things that we must know. Bunty, which language is this? Russian? Oh dear. That took a while. But thank you very much, Bunty, for sharing your thoughts as well, albeit in your way. Nothing wrong with that. You're doing it your way. Thank you for your message. As we continue here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website. And taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. The text line 876-365-3346. And this one says, Sir Malcolm, do you ever... Where did the message go? Right. Sir Malcolm, do you ever wonder why Americans don't celebrate Emancipation Day? In my opinion, I think the Americans don't want to acknowledge the role they played in chattel slavery and the North American slave trade and future more. Oh, you want to say furthermore. And furthermore, they don't want to pay reparations to the descendants of our African ancestors. Thank you for sharing that message. Cuban in Georgia. Never looked at it that way, but we will search some more and see what we come up with. But in the meantime, let's continue with more on your program, both sides of the story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5, and the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 3346. 876 365 3346. Thank you. Did we say hi to Nicola? I think we did. Thank you, Nicola. Let's take the break and come back.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
The Jamaica Agricultural Society presents the ultimate Debbie 90s to National Retro Party, Tuesday, August 6, 2024, at the Debbie Showground. Music by Renaissance featuring DJ Galano, DJ Smurf, CJ Liquid, live performance live, General Degree. Guest artist, Ja Vinci. Admission is $1,500, Tuesday, August 6, 2024.
Big Money Bingo! It's here again when the RJ Aglina Netballers present Big Money Bingo with Princess Casanova. Win big cash prizes of $100,000 from our sponsors, Carrot Joyce Pharmacy, Black Diamond Funeral Services and Supplies, Affirm Ambulance Service, Globe Scope Travel Vacations, and 876 Nurses. Prizes and surprises from Cows Manufacturing Yummy Bakery, the Educational Network. Get your tickets now at RGR Gleaner 32 Lyndhurst Road and the Gleaner Company for only $1,500. Only $1,500. Big Money Bingo! Friday, August 2, 2024 at 7 North Street. You hear? August 2, 7 North Street starting at 7 p.m. with DJ Taya. Enough vibes, prizes, and surprises at Big Money Bingo!
I pledge my this island as God and it shall live. I got my strength, my love, and my loyalty to give. Oh, green, I love the evening, I make us strong and free. Oh, proud and loyal promises, oh, identity to me.
More messages coming in here on both sides of the story. Power 106 FM. Joan Richardson adding to what she said earlier on. She says, hello, Sir D and your global audience. Happy Independence Weekend to you all as we celebrate our 2-day holiday here. Stay safe, Jamaica. And she goes on to say, Cup Match Holiday. The first day is Emancipation Day, and today is Mary Prince Day. However, my cup match team, St. George's. Oh, I read this already. Okay, but she has added a little more to it. Cup match, as we know it, did not start with Somerset Club or St. George's Cricket Club. This calendar event actually began with 2 lodges. Oh, yes, we read most of that. And on the original colors. Thank you. Joan in Bermuda. And Franklin MacDonald has sent us a link on Henry Morgan, Sir Henry Morgan, 1635 to 1688. And let's see who else is messaging us. Stephen Barnes says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Great program as usual. Thanks. Thank you for your participation and input. Thank you very much. And so this feature now, this goes down to Henry Morgan, Sir Henry Morgan, 1635 to 1688, was a Welsh privateer who operated in the Caribbean against the Spanish Empire and then became Lieutenant Governor of Jamaica. Let's continue. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dervan.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, this is very, very beautiful.
What's that? Mm-hmm. You sound rather distant. You sound far away, like you are far away.
I'm sorry that Miss Jackson to injure concern got to just do the 100. I think she do the 200. I think she was capable of taking the devil, but
Yes, I'm sorry I haven't been in a position to be able to follow the performances of our athletes and those of other countries.
yeah, the athletic part I think just started today. The team part, and we're gonna do well. We're gonna medal here in both male and female. We have very good prospects based upon the time. Yes,
Can your voice be any stronger than it is now, please?
yes, yeah. So I'm saying that the Olympics we expect to make it do good. We might not reach 100, but I think we've reached near in total medal count.
Okay,
And
much clearer now. Yes.
all right, and U.S. politics is the things changing. They have now Miss Camille supposed to be until she is confirmed officially by the Democrat convention instead of President Biden. That was floored in the debate by President Trump. The reason why he vacated his candidacy.
What about his candidacy?
Yeah, just like Linda Johnson, he vacated his candidacy, not that he's still the president.
Okay. Oh, you are comparing with Lyndon B. Johnson.
Yes, because he also was a candidate and vacated because he was unpopular. Really, when the dust settled finally, things will return together, the little euphoria and thing now people believe.
Euphoria. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Trump sure didn't declare the defeat and didn't mean the debate. So they sent for the backup now, they bring us kind of enthusiasm. For the Democrats feel that they got to better candidate than Biden was floored, forced out. After saying he wouldn't move.
You meant Biden, right? Biden.
Yes, Biden.
Yes.
And there's a man who tried to get Trump off the ticket by the criminal cases in Democrat zone, and he ended up in the work that got his more. He ended up being the one off the ticket, and his backup step up. You heard that is marvelous to be holding his real and the wars in the Middle East now, 10 players is gonna be war, the war gonna get bigger. Well, that one in Europe and Africa, Sudan, the world is a perilous place right now, It's gonna be war. Iran gonna respond, like Hamas leader was killed right in a presidential inauguration, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna respond. It's gonna be war.
Yeah.
There are more rumors of war. And,
we trust that it won't be the kind of actions that could plunge a whole country or a whole hemisphere in
we don't know
into this.
Remember the revelation, and he was just that the next world war between Europe and the Middle East and so forth, And there's times, they are going on, it's with like Turkey threatening Israel and Diana and the Muslims, It's nothing new from Bible days, If Israel stand with God, they are to be defeated, But they to have gay marriage and anything that we got in the like. And the same thing with the Olympics, they have people with XY zone competing people with XX chromosome. You know what I'm saying? Mendelism in bio. XY is male, XX is female. And to me, those things are not correct. And those are part of the politics of America with the Democrats, even Buttigieg, they have a vice president with the LGBTQ support, the chance given of come to me, I feel
female should compete against female. People born as female. People who want to transfer their XY and they change an organ, they're still XY, still male chromosomes.
Mm-hmm.
As far as
What
I
was what was the reference to Buttigieg?
oh, who is
Buttigieg.
that? Because he is married to a male. To a
Oh.
male, the chancellor, his department. They say he's one of the prospective candidates for vice president to Miss Kamala Harris, who is also married to a white man. So, the thing is not about whites and thing, because white people, even though most blacks support Democratic Party, is more double times the amount of whites support Democrats, because they're mostly white country, white people country. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, the principles, the issues that you support abortion. I am against abortion. We stand up for the little babies. Give a family planning exists and readily available in America like in Jamaica. And responsible people know what they're doing or should know what they're doing. Somebody got to stand up for the unborn, I don't think all black people just vote to vote for a person, just show them black or them white is based on instinct. In a world where we all just black and white go to the same school, college, university, read the same newspapers, postings and things like that. There must be people who are against those things based upon even the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, there's blacks were freed by Republicans. Abraham Lincoln, Republican, in 1860s. Abe Lincoln, the first Republican president. The Emancipation Proclamation and Congress to make an Emancipation Day to and cartel emancipation and can go back to the whole ways. The whole group and them stick take time I use some gold and steel and turmeric and so herbs
Mm-hmm.
that everything is after them can cure.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing your thoughts on the subject with us.
Politics are like, better must come. A better must come. A better must come. One love.
All right. Take care. All the best. Bye bye. Another message here, this time from Cuban in Georgia. He says, Sir Malcolm, most of the major beneficiaries of the North American slave trade doesn't celebrate or acknowledge Emancipation Day, which is disheartening, says Cuban in Georgia. Thanks for sharing your thoughts with us, Cuban in Georgia, and all the very best as we continue. Oh, we welcome Paul Miles of the eponymous Paul Miles Foundation. He says, hello, Dervan, how are you? I am fine, thanks, Paul Miles. Thanks for checking in. Welcome. And let's see this one here now. Members of Parliament must be paid by performance. Such is the, who's this now? This is somebody by the name of Keisha or Kesha says, where's the message? Right. Members of Parliament must be paid by performance. If they do nothing in their constituency, they should only get a basic pay. They should be held accountable. I can't see how a member of Parliament can lead a constituency for at least 4 years, and the main street in the constituency is in a deplorable condition in year 1, year 2, year 3, and year 4. And when election is near, then patch it out. If they are paid by performance, they will do more, says Kesha or Keisha. Thank you for adding your voice to this subject, and all the very best as we continue to take more of your calls, your messages, your comments, your concerns, your issues, your questions, right here on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45. Whether you're overseas or in Jamaica, everybody wants their little piece of yard. Well, that's where a JMMB Bank Mortgage comes in. With JMMB, you'll get more support, more incentives, more benefits, more coverage with JMMB insurance brokers. And also, we give you more time to repay. Your JMMB mortgage expert will answer all of your questions and guide you through every step along the journey. You're not alone with JMMB. Contact us at info@jmmb.com and learn how you can get more than just a mortgage.
Let's fly forever to the sun with all the bright. It's shining home and ever, so better mine. I pledge my heart is silent as long as it shall live. I run my strength, my love, and my loyalty to give. Oh, we are of the evenings, Jamaica strong and free. All vows and loyal promises, oaths and tears to give. I pledge.
Thanks a lot for staying on both sides of the story, Paro 106 FM. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Mike Montgomery, not sure what you have sent us here, but we'll see if and when we're able to access the data, if we can actually play that on air. And Cuban in Georgia says Canada, England, or America do not acknowledge Emancipation Day. How ironic and pathetic. Yet still, these countries act as if they love blacks. That's from Cuban in Georgia. Thank you very much for your message, Cuban in Georgia, 876-365-3346. If you wish to participate, those are the numbers to call and talk with us about emancipation and or independence and vice versa. What do you think? What are your thoughts on these matters? 876-922-4112-5. And the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Hope we have cleared most, if not all, of the messages. Rohan Johnson, I don't think we got around to that one. Rohan Johnson, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for tuning in. And wonder who is this? Oh, this is Sean calling through on the text line, same as the WhatsApp number. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hey, what's up? I'm coming. Hey, what's up?
It sounds like you're not ready for us yet, Sean.
Hey, what's up? How are you, teacher?
I am fine, thanks. And you?
Good so far. Yesterday was my birthday. Turned 22 yesterday.
Happy belated birthday to you.
Yeah, have a great day yesterday. So how's your day going so far, my brother?
So far, so good. Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here taking it easy in the Friday afternoon. I'm here in vibes. I was on Instagram a while ago. I was looking up to my favorite personalities. Yeah. There. I was looking up to my favorite media personalities on Instagram a while ago. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And also look up to the social media influencers and those hilarious people. The reason why I only call you to hail you up.
Good afternoon to you.
Yeah. Thank you, teacher. We'll talk next time.
All right. Thanks for the call. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Good afternoon to Rohan Johnson of Atlas Ocho Rios. Thanks for tuning in to both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. And we continue to take your calls on 876-922-4112-5. And the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. And let's see. This one says, oh no, I read that one already. Say a big thank you. And did we read this one? Thank you for your messages and your calls here on both sides of the story, Poro 106 FM. We are just about 8 minutes away from news time, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. And we want to go back to a link that was shared with us by Franklin MacDonald in relation to he did this quite well in terms of the link, Be My AI. I think this was the one that was shared with us by Mr. MacDonald. Right. Master. So it starts off with a heading in blue, My AI. AI, of course, being artificial intelligence. And it speaks of image descriptions. We're coming back to it in a moment. Reverend Astley MacDonald just popped up. Good afternoon to you. He's out of Mississauga in Ontario, Canada. And so the scenario here is, as I said, Be My AI, AI for artificial intelligence. The image, and it explains in detail, the image is a weather map from the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida, showing a 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook. The map covers the Atlantic Ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Caribbean Sea. The key details: the map is titled 7-Day Graphical Tropical Weather Outlook. There's a red X marked in the Caribbean Sea, indicating a disturbance with a high chance of cyclone formation. greater than 60%. So what this is all about, listeners who missed it the first time, is to highlight the features within this map that has been published. And so it tells us virtually everything, which helps not just adults, well, or I should say not just children, but it's everybody should be able to and can be made to understand what the certain marks on the map represent. So for example, the map is titled 7-Day Graphical Tropical Weather Outlook. There's a red X marked in the Caribbean Sea, indicating a disturbance with a high chance of cyclone formation, greater than 60%. That's a chance of a storm forming. The disturbance is labeled 4, F-O-U-R. The map includes a legend at the bottom, and that legend is what is used to interpret and properly assign a particular feature. So there's a red X marked in the Caribbean Sea, indicating a disturbance with a high chance of cyclone formation, greater than 60%. The disturbance is labeled 4, F-O-U-R. That's a soon-to-be-named system, assuming that something actually happens of that magnitude. The map indicates, as was said a while ago, a legend at the bottom explaining the symbols. Yellow X for less than 40% chance, that's less than 40% chance of something happening. Orange X for 40 to 60% chance. Red X for greater than 60% chance. There's also an open circle for depression, a red circle for storm, hurricane symbol for hurricane, hurricane, red X with a circle for post-tropical cyclone or remnants. So this is something we should all have a copy of, I think, so that it becomes much more manageable to understand some of these developments. Wish we could do a little more, but we'll have to. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Friday, the 2nd of August, 2024. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns. Let me see if I get this. Returns on Monday, 2 to 5, Monday afternoon, 2 to 5. In the meantime, thank you very much, Adrian Reed, for doing technical and production duties behind the scenes. And thanks to you, our faithful viewers, listeners, callers, participants. All things being well, we'll catch you on Monday. Till then, take care.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
news, comprehensive, powerful.